Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nemeka Onyeka Odereri. I want to discuss Mr. President's plan and speech and the order for agencies and ministries and departments to begin to purchase CNG cars. You know, CNG revolution is real and is something that we should all encourage. But beyond pronouncements of these policies, beyond the pronouncement of the use of CNG, there must be strategic work plans. There must be very, very comprehensive rollout plan to make this workable. This is not the first time we've talked about this CNG. Under Buhari, I think in 2021, we heard that they imported 1 million CNG conversion kits into Nigeria, and they were talking about rolling out 1 million CNG cars. Up till now, nothing came out of it. So I think CNG is the way to go, but it's not just enough to pronounce it. I expected after the pronouncement for the Minister for State for Gas and all the agencies of government, NMPC, and the private sector players, IPMAN, to all come together and then have a handshake on the way forward. Nigeria is not the only country that have done this. Other people are ahead of us. Pakistan, with a gas reserve of 63 trillion standard cubic feet of gas, which is a quarter of our Nigerian gas reserve. Nigerian gas reserve is over 209 trillion standard cubic feet of gas. We are 4 times bigger than Pakistan. Pakistan started their own journey in 1990s, and today Pakistan has over 2.5 million cars on CNG. They have over 3,000 CNG filling stations. In fact, in 2008, Pakistan shut down on granting CNG licenses because the usage of CNG for cars was competing with gas need for industries. Iran has over 3.5 million cars that run on CNG. They have over 2,700 filling stations on CNG. In fact, globally, there are over 18 million CNG, natural gas vehicles. So Nigeria is not the first. And if you look at Pakistan, we share similar demography. Pakistan has a landmass of about 880,000 square kilometers. Nigeria 920,000 square kilometers. Pakistan population estimate is about 235 million people. Nigeria 217 million people. Pakistan the same poverty level and everything. And Pakistan does not have our kind of rich gas reserve. So what do we do, Mr. President? Let me come on again with a very creative, very focused, very strategic plan to roll out. To start with 1 million cars. Of course, we have over 11 million registered cars. And of course, some of the cars that will be very easy to convert are the low-end cars, the 4-cylinder engine cars, the 6-cylinder engine cars, the keke, and even those that use generator. To convert 1 million cars, first of all, we need to look at the whole value chain. We need to set up processing plants that will convert both the flared gas and the non-associated gas from natural gas, compress it to CNG. The process and the science and technology is there given. For us to have 1 million CNG cars working in Nigeria, we must have at least processing plants that can process nothing less than 50 million standard cubic feet of gas every day. And to set up such processing plants will take us about 80 to 100 million dollars. That is 150 billion naira given. For us to make this work, we must have at least one mother station in every of the 109 senatorial zone in Nigeria. And to do a mother station will take about 1.2 million dollars, which is about 1.8 billion naira. To roll out enough mother stations across, a mother station is a station that can be able to load up to 6 trucks of 7,000 standard cubic feet of gas. That is skids. So we must have at least 109 mother stations. Of course, we will partner with IPMAN. We don't need to set up fresh. We are IPMAN locations. We must have at least 774 collocated dispensing auto gas centers in every local government area. To collocate an auto gas center with at least 2 filling pumps and 4 hoses will take at least 300 million naira each. That one is about 243 billion naira. So mark it, just mark what I'm trying to explain here, to do processing plants that will be able to process at least 50 million standard cubic meter of gas that will be enough to fuel 1 million cars in a day. We must have processing plants. It will take us about $100 million to set up those processing plants in gas areas. Now, we will have mother stations, 109 mother stations, about 193 billion will do that. 174 filling stations, gas filling stations, that one will take about 243 billion naira to do. Now, we must have companies that process the cylinders that you have to fill the gas, maybe when you are. Then we must have conversion centers. We must have kit conversion centers in every of the local government areas in Nigeria. To convert any of these low-end cars will take about 450 to 500,000 naira. We will organize using NISAN or any of the microcredit agencies that will participate, a credit arrangement, a vendor finance arrangement that will take about 18 months for those people to buy it. Now, let me tell you, doing this will save us over 3 trillion naira annually. Nigeria is a gas-rich nation. We can actually convert up to 5 million cars over the next 5 years. But Mr. President, we need to be very scientific about it. You can see the way I broke this down. There is no skyrocket science about this. I expected the Minister for State for Gas, the NNPC, working with IPMAN and private sector players to be at the forefront. You saw the way I broke this thing down. Very simple. There is no skyrocket science about it. We are not the only country that have done this before. Iran, 3.5 million natural gas cars. Pakistan, 2.7 million cars. Iran, over 2,500 filling stations. Pakistan, over 3,200 filling stations in Pakistan. And Pakistan has lesser land mass than Nigeria. If we want to start this first rollout, first phase, 1 million cars, it can be done. What are the incentives? Zero VAT, zero import duty on importation of those kits. We can even encourage the kit manufacturers in China to come and set up assembly plants in Nigeria, CKD, where they will be assembling most of those kits. And then work with IPMAN, work with Nigerian Union of Road Transport Workers, road transport owners, and we will do this. So in summary, we need to set up processing plants that will convert both the flared and non-associated gases into process and compressed CNGs. It's about $100 million that will do that one, 150 billion. We must have 109 mother stations. Mother stations is stations that can be able to load 6 trucks of at least 7,000 standard cubic feet of skit in those areas. That one will take about 195 billion naira. To set up 774 co-located CNG gas stations. That one will take 243 billion. You can see it holistically. To set up cylinder processing factory. Look at it holistically. The whole project will take about 1.2 to 1.5 trillion. But what it will do for us is that we will be able to save over 1 trillion naira. And let me even tell you one thing that will shock you. The cost of using CNG is 3 times cheaper to fire your cars, to fire your generators with CNG than with PMS. So if we have alternatives like this, PMC consumption will disappear. It will come down low. We won't be wasting 8 trillion naira on subsidies in 8 months or 9 months. So the ball is in your court, Mr. President. Those who work with you, you have pronounced it. It's not enough for the MDAs to go and buy gas CNG cars, but we need to put the infrastructure in place. We need to put the holistic policy and program in place to drive it. I have a template. I have a template which I can provide for you pro bono on what we need to do, how we need to do it, when we need to do it, resources required, who are the responsible people, how those forces can be funded, and how the rollout can happen holistically in such a way that by 2027, we will have 2 million CNG cars in Nigeria working and perfectly working. Thank you and God bless.